Goeiemôre graad 12's, good morning grade 12's. Ek gaan vandag bietjie anders te werk gaan met julle les. So I'm going to try something new with your lesson. Please do let me know how this is for you and if you think it works or maybe if you think it doesn't work too well. Ons gaan vandag begin met een van ons kort verhale. We're going to start with one of our short stories and it's actually quite a good one. It's regtig 'n lekker kort verhaal. Wat ek graag vandag met julle wil doen is net die agtergrondinligting en dan gaan ons begin lees. So I'm going to just do the background information to the short story and then we are going to start reading. Okay, so now is the time to quickly go and grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and to follow along with me. Die kort verhaal wat ons vandag gaan doen, se naam is Die Ballade van Robbie de Vere. In English, that would be The Ballad of Robbie de Vere. Okay, and if you want to look in your handbook, you can open up Speelbeelde, and it's on page 184 and it goes up to 205. So as you can see, this is actually quite a long short story, and that's why I'm going to divide this lesson up into 3 different parts. I am going to ask you to respond to certain questions on the WhatsApp group as well. Please do take care to actually answer these questions. It's so important that we have class discussions as well, and you guys indicated in your surveys that you would like to have more discussions. All right, let's get started. Okay, so the background information. Okay, let's go back. There we are. The background information. Agtergrondinligting. Die Ballade van Robbie de Vere is a kort verhaal, so I've already told you guys this is a short story and it was written by Dion Meyer. Now, I don't know if you guys know who Dion Meyer is. I actually met him once and he's such a lovely person. He's extremely tall as well. Maar Dion Meyer is 'n wêreldbekende Suid-Afrikaanse skrywer. He is world famous. He is so famous, guys, that most of his books have been translated into various languages. Now, you guys know I also teach a bit of French, and I interviewed him once about his translations because the Europeans just absolutely love Dion Meyer. And the type of stories that he writes, he likes to write suspense stories and specifically police dramas. You will see some of his stories have also been made into films, this particular short story as well. So when we get back to school, I would love to show you guys the film because it's really a very good story. So let's get started here. Die hoofkarakters is Len en Robbie de Vere. So my main characters are Len and Robbie de Vere. Len is die bestuurder van Robbie de Vere en Robbie de Vere is 'n baie bekende jong sanger. So Len is Robbie's manager and Robbie is a very famous young singer. And basically Len's entire life fell apart, both on a personal level and his career. Len se hele lewe het uitmekaar uitgeval. Sy loopbaan was nie meer so goed nie, sy persoonlike lewe het uitmekaar uitgeval en nou sien hy vir Robbie as sy kans om weer sukses te behaal. So he sees Robbie as his ticket to success after his whole entire life just completely fell apart. But that is until one evening very late, and this is where our story starts. Dit is tot een oggend baie laat. Wanneer Robbie de Vere vir Len bel, en hy is heeltemal angstig, want hy is in 'n hotelkamer, en daar is 'n dooie jong vrou saam met hom. So he phones up Len early in the morning hours and he's so anxious because there's a dead young woman in his hotel room and she actually died there. Okay, so this sounds very interesting, hey? On this slide, I just put a picture of Dion Meyer if you want to know what the writer looks like. So hier is net 'n foto van Dion Meyer sodat julle kan sien hoe hy lyk. Julle kan sien hy's nie meer so jonk nie. Hy het eintlik vir baie lank in Bloemfontein gebly as julle dit nie geweet het nie. Hy het vir die koerant Die Volksblad geskryf. So he used to live in Bloemfontein for a very long time and he wrote for the newspaper Volksblad. So he only started really writing professionally in his 30s and now he's world famous. So it goes to show you it's never really too late. Let's go on. Okay. So ek gaan nou, daar gaan ons weer na die verkeerde slide toe. Ek gaan nou saam met julle die verhaal begin lees. Ek wil julle moet asseblief so ver moontlik saam volg, Wat ek gedoen het, ek het vir julle die Afrikaanse teks in Afrikaans gesit en dan in 'n rooi 'n Engelse vertaling. So we're going to start reading the story now. And what I did is I put the Afrikaans for you in black and the red is an English translation of the text. So I want you guys to follow along with me. I divided the story up into 3 parts. So we're not going to do the whole thing today because it is quite long, as I said, but please do follow along every day. We can't just at the end do everything. That's going to be too much for you. Okay, so let's get started. Die Ballade van Robbie de Wee. Na 1 in die oggend, my kop verstrengel in die syfertabelle op die rekenaar, soekend na bevestiging van wins. Onoortuig deur die somtotale, versigtig vir die verleidende ligspieeling van begeerte en hoop. English translation, after 1 in the morning, my head tangled up in the tables filled with numbers on the computer, searching for confirmation of profit, unconvinced by the sum totals, cautious for the tempting mirage of desire and hope. So guys, I want you to imagine a guy sitting in front of his computer, working late. It's the middle of the night. He's looking at spreadsheets and things, and the numbers aren't giving him a lot of hope. My selfoon langs die sleutelbord, die skerm wat met eens verlig, daar die breekdeel voor dit lê. Die klank skril en skerp in die stilte. Ek sien sy naam. Dit is laat, selfs vir hom. Okay, so now we're really just setting the scene here. My cell phone next to the keyboard. The screen lights up at once. That fraction of a second before it rings, the shrill and sharp sound in the silence. I see his name. It's late, even for him. Okay, guys, so you can see now this guy is working late and then suddenly his cell phone rings. I don't know if you've experienced that before, but sometimes when you look at your phone just before it rings, the screen lights up before you hear the actual sound of the ring. Okay, so this is what is happening here. Let's go on. Ek antwoord. Robbie? Sy het net hier dood gegaan, Len. Sy het net dood gegaan. Sy stem hoog en vinnig en vreemd, vol angs en verstomming, sodat die onheil in my oopmaak. So guys, you can see this Robbie character is very anxious. I answer, Robbie? She just died here, Len. She just died. His voice high and fast and strange, full of angst and astonishment, opens up a sense of dread in me. Now guys, imagine you get a phone call like this. You would also have a sense of dread. Wie is dood, Robbie? Die vrou, Len, sy het net, ek weet nie wat gebeur het nie, sy het, Len, ek dink dit was 'n hartaanval, sy lê net hier, ek weet nie wat om te doen nie, dit was nie my skuld nie, ek sweer, dit was nie my skuld nie. Who died, Robbie? The woman, Len, she was just, I don't know what happened, her eyes, Len, her eyes, I think it was a heart attack, she's just lying here. I don't know what to do. It wasn't my fault. I swear, it wasn't my fault. Ek moet my eie vrese onderdruk. Robbie, stadig nou. Jy sal moet kalmeer. Waar is jy? In die hotel. I have to suppress my own fears. Robbie, slow down. You'll have to calm down. Where are you? In the hotel. In jou kamer. Ja, ek weet nie wat om te doen nie, Len. Wie is die vrou, Robbie? Ek dink haar naam is Sasha. Ek begin verstaan. Ek moet die kommer, die wanhoop uit my stem hou. Now let's do the English translation for that bit. In your room? Yes, I don't know what to do, Len. Who is the woman, Robbie? I think her name is Sasha. I'm beginning to understand. I have to keep the worry, the hopelessness out of my voice. Okay, so tot op hierdie punt, dink ek julle begin 'n idee kry van watter soort karakter Robbie is. Daar's 'n dooie vrou in sy hotelkamer en hy's nie 100% seker wat haar naam is nie. So I think you're beginning to get an idea of who Robbie is as a character. There's a dead woman in his hotel room and he's not 100% sure of what her name is. Let's continue. Is sy 'n groepie? Ja, die implikasies stapel op teen my bors, loodswaar. versmorend. Nie nou nie, Robbie, nie nou nie. Hoe kan jy dit aan my doen? Is she a groupie? Yes. The implications stack up against my chest, as heavy as lead, choking. Not now, Robbie, not now. How can you do this to me? Okay, so julle kan sien, die timing hierso is baie sleg vir Len. Let's continue. Ek hoor hom snik in die stilte. Sy het net dood gegaan. Ek sweer, Len, ek sweer. Ek moet die gewig afgooi. Ek moet iets doen. Ek staan op. Stap heen en weer. Ons gaan dit regmaak. Bly net kalm. Ek tas na antwoorde, oplossings. Ek kry niks. Net die denkbeeldige opskrifte. Vrou dood in De Wee se hotelkamer. Polisie ondervra sang sensasie. Robbie, vertel my mooi, wat het vanaand gebeur? Hoe het jy haar ontmoet? Hy maak 'n wanhopige geluid. Robbie, I hear him sob in the silence. She just died, I swear, Len, I swear. I have to get rid of this weight. I have to do something. I get up, walk from side to side. We're going to fix it. Just stay calm. I reach for answers, for solutions. I find nothing. Just the imaginary headings. So these guys are the imaginary newspaper headings that Len is now thinking of. So obviously he has to think of the PR fallout that will come from this. So it will be really, really bad. And as I told you before, his career and his personal life already fell apart. And now it seems like it's going to follow the same path once more. So the headings he imagines: women dead in De Wee's hotel room. Police question singing sensation. Robbie, tell me carefully. What happened tonight? How did you meet her? He makes a desperate sound. Robbie. Okay, let's continue to the next slide. Ek hoor hoe hy sy asem diep intrek. Sy was voor Len, teen die verhoog, sy stem wankelend. Dis goed, Robbie, probeer ek paai. En toe? I can hear how he takes a deep breath. She was at the front lane, up against the stage, his voice wavering. That's good, Robbie. I tried to calm him. And then? Sy was mooi. Sy het gedans en gesing. Sy wou die hele tyd 'n papiertjie vir my gee. En toe ek die series teken, toe kom sy en druk dit in my sak en sê, dis haar selfoonnommer. Toe skryf ek die hotel en die kamer daarop en gee dit terug. Toe vra sy, hoe laat? Toe sê ek, 11:30. So guys, you can get the picture here. It's a groupie who is inviting herself over to his hotel room. Okay. So let's do the English translation of that bit. She was beautiful. She was dancing and singing. She wanted to give me a piece of paper the whole time. And when I was signing CDs, she came and pushed it into my pocket and said it's her cell phone number. Then I wrote the hotel and the room on it and gave it back. Then she asked, what time? Then I said, 11:30. Toe kom sy? Ja. Sy was alleen, Robbie, by die konsert. Ja, wat gaan ons doen, Len? And then she came? Yes. She was alone, Robbie, at the concert. Yes. What are we going to do, Len? Ek gaan nou in my kar klim. Bloemfontein, 4 uur se ry ver, selfs met my vervlenterde Volkswagen Caddy. Ek kyk na my horlosie. Ek kan voor 6 daar wees. Maar jy sal moet kalm bly, Robbie. Jy sal moet wag tot ek daar is. I'm going to get in my car now. Bloemfontein is 4 hours of driving, even with my tattered Volkswagen Caddy. I look at my watch. I can be there before 6. But you have to stay calm, Robbie. You will have to wait until I'm there. Ek kan nie hier, by haar nie. Sy's dood, Len. En die paniek is terug. Robbie, ek gaan nou die hotel bel en 'n kamer bespreek. Ek gaan vir hulle sê jy sal so lank die sleutel kom haal. Maak seker jy sluit jou kamer en dan wag jy vir my in die ander een. Okay, guys, you will see now Robbie is really panicking. And Len is being very pragmatic. He's trying to find solutions because that's his job. Let's see the translation. I can't. Not here. Not with her. She's dead, Len. And the panic is back. Robbie, I'm going to call the hotel now and book a room. I will tell them you'll come and get the key. Make sure you lock your room and then you wait for me in the other one. Ek ry deur die stil strate van Pretoria se Garsfontein. Vat die N1 suid. Ek bel hom elke 15 minute tot ek seker is hy het in die ander kamer tot ruste gekom. Eers dan kan ek dit alles oordink. Robbie de Vere. I drive through the quiet streets of Pretoria's Garsfontein, take the N1 south. I call him every 15 minutes until I am sure he came to rest in the other room. Only then can I think it all over. Robbie de Vere. And guys, this is really where our story starts. So Len is now on his way to Bloemfontein, where we all live, and he's going to go and help Robbie, who's in a hotel room somewhere with a dead woman who he thinks is named Sasha. Okay, so what is going to happen now? I am going to post a couple of questions onto the WhatsApp group. Ek gaan nou vir julle 'n paar vrae op die WhatsApp groep sit. I would like you to answer these questions on the WhatsApp group. Ek wil hê julle moet hierdie vrae asseblief op die WhatsApp groep antwoord. And please do it in our period now. This is going to be a class discussion. So ek wil hê julle moet dit in ons periode nou doen. En dit is 'n klasbespreking. You can post your answers either as a voice note or you may type them as well. What is important though is that you try to do it in Afrikaans as much as possible. If there's a word you don't know, it's fine. Please then just make sure you find out what the word means afterwards. So if you want to use an English word for a moment, that's all right. Okay, so I'm going to post the questions one at a time, and as soon as we are done discussing one question, we will move on to the next. Okay, guys, let's get started.